Hello funky gamers, it's me Daddee-Cree, and yes, this week I probably sound insane. Maybe I am insane, but there is method to the madness. And this is for the benefit of all gamers. I don't care if you're an absolute Sony pony fanboy, you need to get an Xbox. Why? To save the PlayStation you love, the games that you love, and the games industry as a whole. So let's talk about games. Xbox is now the biggest games publisher in the world. There are more Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5 this year than there are PlayStation Studios games. Sony are getting lazy and complacent, and they are closing more studios. Now I know every big games company is guilty of closing down some studios, but Sony are closing down more than others this year. Because their philosophy seems to be, why innovate when we're getting all the new Xbox games? And then there's the dirty tricks that they're pulling. PlayStation is the most consumer unfriendly games company. They will never give refunds on digital purchases. Sony's refund policy is as soon as you're starting to download the game, you're not entitled to a refund. And guess what happens as soon as you click buy on the PlayStation Store? It starts downloading. So the moment you hit buy, you cannot change your mind, even if you've never played that game. If you buy a game on Steam or Xbox, you can actually play the game and then get a refund. There was one time my son got some money for his birthday and he wanted to buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And I bought him that on Xbox with his birthday money. And after a couple of days, I said to him, "How are you getting on with your game?" And he said, "I don't like it, Dad." And he sounded so disheartened because he thought all his birthday money had been wasted. But what did I do? I clicked the button, and within minutes I had my money back. PlayStation also blocked the use of last generation accessories. There's actually no reason whatsoever why you shouldn't be able to use your DualShock 4 controller to play PlayStation 5 games on the system. It's just Sony's greed in wanting you to buy more of the new controller. And if there's no competition for Sony, they have free rein to do whatever they want to take advantage of you. Now, currently the way the situation is with store fees, Sony gets 30% of all third-party sales on PlayStation. Now that's standard across the industry. Xbox get that for a third-party publisher putting their games on there. Steam get that as well. That's the norm. But what happens if there's no competition? Can Sony start charging 50% because they're the only major home console that's available? I wouldn't put it past them, and all that's going to do is push the prices of console games up. Because the developers will still have to make their money, and Sony will be raking it in from you. Sony have also been pushing for an all-digital future. They've been trying to push this for years. Most recently with the PlayStation 5 Pro that came without a disc drive, and with the PlayStation Portal, which can only stream games. And does anybody remember the PSP Go, the all-digital PlayStation Portal? Does anybody remember the PlayStation... Does anybody remember the PSP Go, the all-digital PlayStation Portable? Now, I actually had the original PSP, which was about that thick. It was about that size in your hands. It had cross key, thumbsticks, some buttons and some triggers. Little discs went into the back of it, and it was like a brick to carry around with you. It was in no way a pocket console. The PSP Go was in many ways the perfect pocket console. It was slim, it was light, it didn't have to take discs, and the screen would slide up to reveal the buttons and the thumbsticks underneath. But it was held back by greed for the fact that there was no competitor to it on the market. Only the Nintendo DS was there to compete with it, and that was made for completely different markets. So while people were playing God of War and Grand Theft Auto and Gran Turismo on their PSP, Nintendo players were playing Brain Training and Peppa Pig. But the PSP Go was doomed by Sony's high digital prices, because the only place you could buy games for it was direct from Sony's store, and the prices of the games there were astronomical. And on to some more dirty tricks. Yes, there is more of them. Sony are notorious for blocking third-party digital sales. You used to be able to go into a store and buy codes for games from that store on a nice little card that looked a little bit like a gift card, but instead of having money on it, it would actually have the games on there. I actually worked in the largest games store in the UK, simply called Game, and we used to sell these. But you can't buy them anymore. Sony have blocked that. So there's no more digital codes from physical retailers. And for online digital game sales, the amount of places you can buy those are so few and far between, and you'll never get any of the latest releases on there. Unless you're buying direct from Sony. And guess what? They control the prices for that. And how long do you think it'll be before Sony takes full control? Where the only place you can buy vouchers is from Sony. The only places you can buy digital games is from Sony. And I wouldn't even put it past them to make sure that the only places you can buy PlayStation discs is from Sony as well. They took all their digital games away from Amazon, so there's nothing stopping them taking all the discs away from Amazon as well. But what about the cost? Can you afford a second console? Well, I would say yes, if you're planning on buying any games. PlayStation players are now paying for old Xbox games that have already been on Game Pass. Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones, which are releasing next month, will cost you £125 for just the base version without any add-ons or deluxe versions. And last year PlayStation got Sea of Thieves, Pentiment, Grounded and Hi-Fi Rush. If you bought all of those on PlayStation, that cost you £117. Now if the Halo Master Chief Collection and the Gears of War trilogy arrive on PlayStation as is rumoured, you can easily double what you've paid for Forza and Indy. And that won't even be all the Halo and Gears games. There'll be 4 games missing from that. There'll be Halo 5 Guardians, which is only available on Xbox, you can't even get that on PC. Halo Infinite, Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5. And that's not even considering the spin-offs of Halo Wars 1 and 2 and Gears Tactics. In just the last 6 months, Xbox has released over 35 games on Game Pass. Some of the highlights being Call of Duty Black Ops 6, a £70 game, Stalker 2, a £50 game and an Xbox console exclusive, Indiana Jones, a £70 game, and Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was stealth dropped during the Xbox Developer Direct. I love the fact that a ninja game was stealth dropped. And that's a £40 game if you buy that on PlayStation. So while the Xbox players were playing, PlayStation players were paying. There's also Sniper Elite Resistance, a £55 game, Avowed, a £70 game and an Xbox console exclusive. And just today, Atomfall, a £55 game. That's a lot of money if you're buying all those games on PlayStation. And coming to Xbox Game Pass from next month is South of Midnight, Commandos Origins, Descenders Next, Blue Prince, Tempopo, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Tarborn, Revenge of the Savage Planet, Doom the Dark Ages, 2AT, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Abiotic Factor, Ark 2, Bounty Star, Buckshot Roulette, Bushiden, City Skylines 2, Dead Static Drive, Echo Weaver, FBC Firebreak, Frostpunk 2, Harmonium the Musical, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Calubra and the Souls of Limbo, Little Rocket Lab, Lost in Random The Eternal Die, Manor Lords, Mixtape, Moonlighter 2 The Endless Vault, Ninja Gaiden 4, Nirvana Noir, Pigeon Simulator, Routine, She Dreams Elsewhere, Sleight of Hand, Sopa, Subnautica 2, Tanuki Upon Summer, The Altars, The Outer Worlds 2, Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, Vapor World Over the Mind, Void Train, Volcano Princess, Way to the Woods, Wheel World, Winter Burrow, and Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, along with other big names like Gears of War E-Day, Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake, and Fable. Now that's a lot of money on games, and that's only the ones we know about. There are going to be a heck of a lot more added to that list as the year goes on. Still, why should you get one? If you adore PlayStation, or you hate streaming services. Because it's still better to buy games on Xbox because of Xbox Play Anywhere, where you can buy the game once and play it on Xbox and PC, and if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can cloud stream it as well. And that's not just first party games. There's a lot of third party games included in there, in fact hundreds of them. And all your progress and your achievements carry over from one system to another. In fact, there's been plenty of times where I've been playing a game on my Xbox and then wanted to go into my bedroom, and instead of having to take my console into the bedroom, I simply take the controller and I stream the game on this. A Fire TV stick that plugs into my TV, and I continue on exactly where I left off. Now, even Death Stranding is on Xbox Play Anywhere. I'm going to say this again for the big PlayStation fanboys watching. Even Death Stranding is on Xbox Play Anywhere, where you buy the game on Xbox and you can play it on PC and cloud stream it. Has any PlayStation player that bought Death Stranding been able to play it on their PC? I don't think so. In fact, do you think Sony will ever allow you to buy once and play on PC and console? I highly doubt it. So what is PlayStation's redeeming feature? It's the exclusives. The likes of God of War, which has spawned 8 games over its lifetime, and more to come. There's Uncharted, which I think is 5 games. Somebody can tell me in the comments if I've missed one out. There's Stellar Blade, and Astrobot, and also Ghost of Tsushima. But what's coming this year? 2 exclusives, and both of them are sequels, nothing new. Ghost of Yotai and Death Stranding 2. And PlayStation didn't even make that game. Kojima Games made that. PlayStation are simply publishing it, which means it'll be a timed exclusive to PlayStation 5. Even Xbox has more exclusives than that, and new IP. If you've stuck with PlayStation for the exclusives, you need to push them to make more. You need to give them competition, hit their bottom line. As the Mandalorian says, this is the way. Maybe the days of exclusives are over. After all, Xbox is getting Steam, including the PlayStation games. PlayStation and Switch 2 are getting the Xbox games. All I want are great games to play. I don't care what piece of plastic I'm playing it on. And when I say great games, Sony, I don't mean remasters of PlayStation 4 games. If you're still not convinced, keep an eye out for the 2025 Xbox Summer Showcase, which will be coming in June. And there I'm predicting that they'll be announcing and revealing the new handheld with Steam integration and the launch date for later this year, and the name of the console, which, let's face it, Xbox are going to balls that up. Probably name it something like the Xbox Steamy Hand Job or Xbox Preparation H for handheld. That feels good on the whole. Or get yourself a Fire Stick 4K and a month of Game Pass Ultimate, and you can play Xbox games using your DualShock 4 or your DualSense controller. But if you are using this to play your Xbox games, just remember what Phil Spencer said.
So the X button's in the wrong place.
It's the wrong place.
The X button, X is supposed to be over there.
Why here?
Yeah, A, B, X, Y.
Now I just quickly want to give a couple of shout outs to two of my inspirations that give me the motivation to make better, unbiased videos. Now, first of all, there's Middle-Aged Game Guy. Now if you want some juicy insider info, Mag has it. I don't know who he knows at PlayStation or Xbox, but every single time he predicts something, he's always right. And you can see him on YouTube at The Mag Show. And if you want to see some absolute unfiltered joy of someone that's had PlayStation for years and just recently got himself an Xbox, and the guy is so enthusiastic that even Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, commented on one of his early videos. And you can check out Sir Bruvian on YouTube at Sir Bruvian. So you've heard my crazy thoughts on this, and I want yours in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want more gaming news, join the Funky Discord. There is going to be a link to that in the description. And if you do want to support the channel even more, there's another link down there to buy me a coffee, where you can donate any amount that you like, and I get about 90% of it, and then I can invest that in bringing more content to you. So until next time, I've been Daddee-Cree, and you've been watching FunkyPlayBox.